Hello again, this is Michael's Paraplegic video vlog, and I believe this is week 5. Today is November the 26th in the year 2023. It's Sunday. I'll probably post this tonight when I'm done. And I'd like to welcome you to my blog. For those of you that don't know, I've set up this to update people on my feelings, how I'm doing, what I'm doing in my recovery, questions that I have for myself. Am I ever going to be able to stand up and walk again? Am I going to be able to do things by myself? I mean, I can do some things by myself right now. I can roll over and sleep on my side, which is a huge accomplishment. I can sit up in the bed myself, another huge accomplishment. It's taken me a long time to get those accomplishments down, but those are two things that I couldn't do, 6 months ago, but I could do today. I get another yawning session here with me, but it's hard for me sometimes. I'm on some new medication. I took it the very first time today. It really seems to help. It's called Flexerol. It's for spasms. I guess my legs, when you don't use your muscles that much, they contract into each other. My legs definitely are attracted to each other, and they crisscross, and I can't get them uncrisscrossed by myself. And they have a mind of their own. I can bend my knee. I can squeeze my butt. So I don't know if I'm partially paraplegic is basically what the doctors have called me. I have some movement in my legs. I don't have very much range of motion. Lori helps me a lot with that. And, exercises that I do with my legs in the morning and in the afternoon and the evening. Sometimes I'll try and sit in my chair and do torso aerobics, trying to work my core, moving my arms, trying to keep stretched, trying to keep limber. I've mentioned the person that I've watched, and that was in one of my previous videos, and his name is Paul Eugene. He's aerobics instructor, physical instructor, but he knows how to keep the tempo up, and to me sometimes that's important. Today, instead of doing that, I worked around in my kitchen trying to make things, and it's not very easy. It's a what do they want to call it? So you have occupational therapy and you have physical therapy. Currently, right now, the insurance is paying for physical therapy. Well, my insurance is letting somebody come in once a week for physical therapy. If I wanted more, I'd have to pay more. And unfortunately, my financial situation isn't that great where I can afford to pay. And I've heard that if I go outside of my home for physical therapy, they will discontinue my nursing. And I don't think that's right. And Lori's told me to call the insurance company and make sure that's the case, because I really want to go to a gym or a place that has equipment that's going to help me recover, at least to the point where I could stand up by myself and transfer. And then that motion alone gives me so much independence and would allow Lori not to constantly be here. I could get up off my bed, stand up for a second, pivot, and go into a wheelchair. And then if I needed to use the bathroom, it would be the same thing. And if I needed to take a shower, it would be the same thing. So having that ability to stand up and move myself somehow into a wheelchair, that I will be very, very happy that day. And, unfortunately, I probably won't be as chipper until that day comes. But I have to work towards that independence. And then making sure I close the door and making sure I don't let the dogs out and things like that maybe somebody can take care of before I get up and start moving around. But I definitely want more freedom throughout my home, and I don't want it to hurt that freedom. I'm hoping this new medication that I'm on is going to help me with that freedom, being able to move more, being a little bit more limber, not having to deal with that kind of the pain when I move. Because, when I move my back or if I move my arm certain ways, there's definitely pain involved in moving. So, hopefully this new medication is going to take care of that. What else is going on? So it was Thanksgiving this week. It's lots of turkey. You got one more day of turkey, and then I tell Lori to feed it to the dogs because it's been around long enough. Sorry. I enjoy a turkey sandwich. I love turkey dinner. And we'll probably get a couple more turkeys if we can find them on sale. Not only a few days after Thanksgiving, if they over-ordered in some of the stores, they want to clean out their freezers, they'll drop the price. And you'll be able to get a turkey for, who knows, last year I got 4 turkeys for 29 cents a pound. Lori almost shot me. But they were able to fit in the freezer. No other things fit in the freezer, but they were able to fit in the freezer. And I kept one out and thawed it normally. And we had it a couple weeks later, a week or so later, because it takes a week to defrost the frozen turkey in your refrigerator. That's usually how I'll do it. So I had one turkey a couple weeks after Thanksgiving, and then another turkey around Christmas time, and then again another turkey in February. And I buy a turkey usually in the summertime, and I'll cook it. I do enjoy family meals. That's one thing that a lot of people have gotten away from, sitting at a table, eating meals with other people. It's an old-fashioned thing, I guess. People don't do what they do is go sit on the couch and watch the TV and eat and whatever they want to do, right? They don't sit at the table. You don't thank the Lord for the food that you are about to receive. It's Thanksgiving. You're thanking people to be alive. You've survived another year on this planet. Thank the Lord. I mean, Lori says she's not religious, I'm sure she believes in I know she believes in goodness because there's goodness in her heart, and that's the most important thing. You don't have to really believe in a God or a deity. You just have to have goodness in your heart, because you do goodness, and people will remember you as being good. If you're a bumhole, then you're remembered for being that. And I'm sure a few people on this planet are going to remember me as a bumhole. Not many. Very, very few. I think 1 or 2 at most. Maybe 1 person feels that, he's a bumhole. He didn't treat me right. But hey, You know, you can't please everybody. You really can't. You can try. You sure as hell can try. But you can't please everybody. So, that being said, you know, I'm trying to get set up with the Salvation Army to ring the bell as Santa Claus. I usually do really, really well. Last year I was doing 8-hour shifts, 10-hour shifts, sitting in my chair and ringing the bell from 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock in the evening. You take a little break in between. You know, you can bring the kettle to the courtesy booth if you have to go to the restroom. You say, you know, you just take the kettle, you go in the supermarket or store where the kettle is set up, and you say, no, I need to use the restroom. You go in, you can use the restroom, you go back, you take your place. You're only gone for a few minutes, you know, if you did take a restroom break, and then you can take like a half-hour lunch break. You go back and you ring your bell, and usually I do very, very well for the Salvation Army. They're an awesome charity. They help people with natural disasters. They help people that are poor all year round, not just around Christmas time. They feed the hungry. They give people clothes. I love their slogan. They do so much good. So much good. And they're not really pushing their religion on you, because they really don't have one. They do believe in, basically, it's goodness, you know, being good to other people. It's, you know, they don't, nobody will turn anybody away if the other person is good. So if you're going to a place and you really need to go there, right? And, you know, you're hungry and your clothes are tattered and you're homeless and you know, there but for God's grace go I, you know? I could easily be in that situation, and it wouldn't take much. You know, somebody could get mad at me, I could get thrown out of my house. I mean, anything can happen to anybody. You never know. I mean, and it's all about having a place to go. Not everybody has their family around them, and you know, they need help. And you know, some people are on drugs and they need to go there, and they don't have homes. They live in the woods, and you know, everybody, to me, that person is mentally ill if they're living in the woods, right? And you know, sleeping in the open air with, you know, bugs and who knows what, you know, and that life is going to be just, it seems so scary. To me, it doesn't, why would you want to do that? You could go somewhere and say, hey, I'm homeless, can you help me? You know, and there are places that will do it. And you know, you sleep in your car a couple of days, and you go to these places and you sit it out. You wait there, and then you sleep in your car another day, and you do the same thing. You go in every day until you get a place to stay. You know, somebody's going to point you in the right direction. You're going to go somewhere, you know, and you need to get started. It's just like being hurt or first time being paraplegic. It takes time. It takes time to build up. And you know, you start from nothing. You start from being born again. And you have to learn all over again. And, you know, depression, and people self-medicate. That's why a lot of these people are out looking for money to drink, because they're self-medicating. They're depressed. And that causes them to do the things they're doing, and it's a vicious cycle. They can't find work. And even if you do find work and you get a minimum wage job, you're still not going to be able to make ends meet because, they say $15 an hour is a lot of money, but you look at the price of somebody renting, even just renting a room, it could be up to $1,000. Some people are charging for people to stay in a room now. That's just a single room in a house. You can find less expensive ones. Yeah, I mean, $650 a month or whatever, but $650 a month at $15 an hour, you need to work at least 20 hours, right? So 20 times 15 is 600. Okay, so that's you still need a little bit more for your rent. And so you work at 30 hours a week. Say you work 30 hours a week. You still need to eat and do other things that, that money is not being stretched as much as it used to be. And, in today's world, it's very easy for people to fall off or end up in so much debt. It's crazy. It really is. And you got to watch your debt. And you got to pay your debt. Because if you don't watch and pay your debt, eventually nobody's going to want to lend you money. It's like, for a lot of you guys that are watching this and know me, I'm going to tell you that I can fall back on my family very easily, and they will help me. A lot of people don't have that ability, and because they burn that bridge, and they don't love their siblings. They fight, and it's crazy. Why would you burn your bridge with your sibling? They're your first line of defense. That's why when I did foster care, I used to fight like the Dickens to get the kids together, the siblings together, because they have to know each other. They have to fall back. You have other foster kids in other homes that they say it's the same. They call them brothers and sisters. They are the same, but they're treated the same. At least if you're in the right house, they're treated the same. Everybody is your son. That's your role. Everybody's your daughter. That's your role. And you need to do what it takes to fulfill your obligations at that role. You need to make sure that child learns that he could fall back on his siblings, learns that and they were never taught, because a lot of their parents were always into drugs, and that's how they had the children. And it's when you're addicted and you're hooked on a substance, and that's you're basically killing your body. And I mean, granted, I killed my body, but it was a different way. I used to work hard. I used to put everything into my work. And I would come home and someone would say, "Hey, can you move this refrigerator?" And I could pick the damn thing up myself. Now look at me. Can't even pick myself up. Never mind a refrigerator. I remember lifting a refrigerator 4 feet off the ground. And I used to live with this guy, Roger. And Roger looked at me and I said, "What?" I said, "It's all how you lift it." And he used to be, he never had a reason to be afraid of me, but I'll tell you, he wouldn't want to mess with me. I also lifted up a railroad tie, and my pants fell down. It was hilarious. I know, it wasn't hilarious to me, but, I need a belt or something. But, it's been almost 20 minutes, and, thank God that I'm here today, and I plan to stay here, and I hope you do too, and you work towards a better life for you and other people. So thank you very much. You have a wonderful week, and I'll bore you again next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.